So picture this. Glitch announces the last act in episode 9's trailer. Me and everyone else frantically go to buy tickets, but quickly realize the 3 theaters showing the film sold out literally instantly. Thankfully, a couple hours later, more theaters opened up and me and a bunch of friends got tickets at a local AMC. That AMC ended up filling up with over 200 people. Presumably all Digital Circus fans, which made me realize this would be an unforgettable opening weekend experience. So how'd you prepare for that, React Face? You're bald. The best way I know how. With a notebook filled with over 50 pages worth of notes taken during the film, that looks like chicken scratch because I couldn't see what I was writing in the dark, and a phone that recorded my and the entire theater's reaction to the movie. But real quick, a big spoiler warning for episode 9 of TADC. This video was initially gonna be about my theater experience, but quickly evolved into something much grander. A discussion of all of episode 9 with theater reactions sprinkled in. If you're looking for something to watch after episode 9, you're in the right place. Thank you! Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy the video.
What?
So going into the movie, I'd somehow successfully dodged all spoilers while still being terminally online. Well, except for one, but we'll get to that when it shows up. So I'd never guess that the first thing you see after that glitch logo is the damn Charlie Smiling Friends fish welcoming you to the movie.
If you have not watched the rest of the episodes, you've got like 30 seconds to catch up. Usually Kane does these things, but he couldn't make it because he died.
A quick plug of the movie exclusive merch, which gives me a great chance to plug a like and subscribe. Wait, I already did that. But here's the QR code if you want it, with a nice dose of existential dread.
The guys don't want to die.
Bye.
Kane showed up to give a recap of the story.
And with me, welcome to the amazing digital
Circus!
Which was something I predicted in my cursed TADC bingo video I just made. Check it out if you're interested. But the recap was awesome. We got Kane singing the main theme song.
like Gaggle and Goozle and Drag up the tracks and the top. Ooh, the gang that does something.
We got to learn how to cross a street, how to use a firearm, and learn about Jax's legendary crash out. We open on episode 8. And while we skim through this, I want to take a moment to highlight the theater itself. This was one of those crowds that were audibly active in the film. But not in an annoying group of teenagers talking crap unrelated to the screening kind of way, but in a way that enhanced the movie experience.
Say it with a little more gusto.
It reminded me a lot of when I went to watch Endgame opening weekend. Just an electric theater. The audience was locked in. Also, it smelled great in there. Thankfully, no one sang during running the show, which was probably for the best. But just in case you wanted to see it.
My divinity is hostage vanity of mine. Seems our regime has plummeted south. Don't need to scream if you ain't got enough. Why bite the hand that feeds when it's the only hand you're getting? It's time to see that this great monkey is the only place to ever gonna be. So strap on in and take him on the chin. And don't forget who's running the show.
But our theater still cheered at the end, which was cool. Yo, who brought little Timmy to the theater? But it can't be happy forever. And episode 9 began with a fake out intro of all things.
Oh.
Day after day repeats over and over, and we cut to the aftermath. Jax crashes out on Kinger, saying they shouldn't forgive him for what he did. Which is ironic, because Jax forgave himself pretty quick for pushing the red button in episode 7. He even shoved Kinger with a void hole in the background. Bro, I thought it was it for him. But in the chaos, Kinger reveals. Soma theory, clone theory, whatever you want to call it, it was real. Their mind files were impossibly small, hidden in the code of the Circus. Kane found them and got them working again, which is exactly what we'll see later in this episode. But we'll get there. They all fail to cope with the revelation. Jax just saying the nastiest things to Zubul and Ragatha. They all split apart. Even Gangle couldn't get Zubul to follow her, leaving her devastated. And leaving Pomni in the middle of it all, to choose who to go to first. She chose Kinger. Kinger and Pomni begin to bond over conjuring, with Pomni feeling like she failed everyone. But Kinger eases her mind with his W-Dad therapy. He points out she was the quickest to adapt to the circus. Others took weeks, months, she took days. Her strength and trust she built with the cast makes her exactly who they need in a dire situation like this. And she doesn't need to do it alone. It may take time, and they can't do it all, fix it all, but they can do what they can together. We get a montage with a lyrical song written for the movie, Too Much For You, sung by Bo N. Now I want to save going over the song for the end of the video. It's a short but pretty special track, and I think what I have to say about it fits best there. But Kinger wasn't kidding about this taking time. Days, weeks, months go by, but slowly wounds heal, and they bond over conjuring. First Ragatha, then Zubul, then Gangle, and Jax? Well, as I wrote in my notes, Jax is a chud.
That's me on a good day.
Thank you,
And walks away from Pomni, who reaches out for him. Pomni, whether you think it was out of character or not, goes off Kinger's guidance and doesn't follow Jax, allowing him the space and time to adjust to it all, even though it's already been a long time, but whatever. Then, suddenly, an abstraction appears. You could see in my notes in real time how I figured out it was Jax. First, I thought there were a bunch of abstractions and they escaped the cellar somehow.
Oh.
But then Zubul said it was Jax. But I was skeptical. How could they be so sure? Maybe there's more of these things running around. But then Gangle says she can't cry for him, for obvious reasons. And then it hit me. Pretty crazy they did it off screen. I was really hoping we'd get to see what the physical abstraction process of a person to monster looked like. But if abstraction has a more symbolic meaning, maybe it's just something we're not supposed to see until it's too late. Ragatha tells us she and Jax used to be friends, which is something we saw in the Kinger mashed potato short, a version of Jax that's fun and actually nice to be around. Ribbit and Jax's relationship was destroyed during the snowboarding adventure we saw in the glitch post on Twitter, which compounded when she promised to never speak about Ribbit again, her people-pleasing tendencies ruining an opportunity to potentially fix everything. But Pomni, being the goated character she is, comforts Ragatha. She's her closest friend, after all. They hug. I melted in this scene, bro. Like, look at this doodle I drew. Not bad for not being able to see. This hug went on for a long time, though. In the moment, it didn't make sense to me. Like, I kinda got it, but with context, they knew deep down there was a chance after this, they'd never see each other again. Next, we get a scene that harkens back to episode 6. We're in the hall with Jax, Pomni, and a gun. Jax charges her while Pomni shoots out the lights in the hall one by one. She's using her firearm skills Jax taught her in episode 6 and the knowledge that abstractions calm in darkness from Kinger in episode 3. It's like they said, they do what they can together. Now I'm going off memory here, but the scene goes dark. Pomni and Abstract Jax make contact. And we get some crazy, trippy visuals as Pomni transports into Jax's mind. Now, from what I understood, Pomni is put into a room with 5 different doors, all with warped versions of Jax's face on them. One of the doors is boarded up and Pomni can't access it. When she goes to investigate what's in each door, we'll get to see an alternate persona Jax has made of himself for every single hypothetical worst-case scenario. A version of himself ready for anyone's abstraction. We enter door 1, the most grounded of the door worlds. A fake version of Pomni and Jax are staring at Ragatha's door, who abstracted. The twisted Pomni speaks to Jax. I just want you to know that if you need anything or need to talk to anybody, I'm here for you. This is an exact parallel to what Ragatha told Pomni in episode 6.
Pomni, if you ever need to talk to somebody or need help with anything, I'm here.
Jax has created a ragified Pomni to fill her role in the circus that she's now left empty. And then he starts choking her out? What? This scene's a parallel to Pomni choking Jax in their fight in episode 6. While there it was played for laughs, here it's visceral, real, kinda disgusting. And this scene's a jump scare, by the way. Entering door 2, Zubul abstracted. Gangle has her Spudsies mask and is managing everyone to make Zubul's funeral? Guess I was wrong to think the mask was important, but who cares about that now? Jax is in a maid outfit again. Someone blew their nose in this scene, so I'll dub over it. I figured, what better way to honor Zubul's spirit than by wearing something all gender freaky, right? The rest of this speaks for itself.
Jax is a freak.
A freak he is, past me. A freak he is. Anyway, now we're in Looney Tunes. Entering door 3, Gangle abstracted. Jax here is like this cross-eyed Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, Porky Pig hybrid, while Zubul is a wily coyote, avenging Gangle's death, presumably done by Jax. We get some sick, old-school looking 3D animation, and the references were just great.
Damn.
Entering door 4, the last one Pomni has access to, is unlike the rest. The boarded up door's back, and there's a new door that's locked with a key. The 3 Jaxes are at a table, with the 4th playing piano in the corner of the room. These Jaxes aren't real though. They're extremities from the other door worlds. Impulsive thoughts put on rabbit bodies. Fake identities created for the hypothetical loss of Jax's friends. And Pomni calls that out, that this isn't reality.
Oh boy!
But False Jax complains that this episode's been no fun. There's a knock on the boarded up door. Pomni asks for the key to the door, and as the maid Jax starts to yap again, Pomni throws a beer bottle at his head. Hell yeah, Pomni. Making him disappear. And as if something or someone is listening, the impulsive Jaxes begin to poof out of existence.
Wow! I hope that doesn't also happen to me.
Pomni looks at the Jax playing piano. His foot is chained to the instrument. He hands her the key and disappears. She unlocks the door and it opens. And we get a real life jump scare. Same clip as episode 7 until he's lying on the ground outside, presumably camping. It seems he's got nowhere else to go. A glitch and he's in the circus, terrified. This confirms he did not enter with Ribbit or Kaufmo, as they were already in the circus. He came alone. And we now enter Act 2 of episode 9. Jax's entire story and origin in the circus is told through a first-person perspective as we cut between scenes of Jax slowly bonding with the circus members. We eventually get the stargazing scene in Ribbit's room. She says the adventure was fun, and Jax responds, "I'm glad I could cheer you up." Which, just, again, crazy there was a time that Jax was once nice to people. But then she asks the question.
Have you ever done something that you regret?
Something in the real world that you can never make up for. Ribbit opens up first. She cut ties with her family due to them being extreme Mormons. I've personally heard very dark stories, surprisingly, from creators about their traumatic experiences growing up Mormon. She still loves them, misses them, but what can she do when she's stuck here? Jax questions Ribbit's reasoning. He already told her he was homeless, giving context to the real-life flashback. What else would she need to know? But she pushes him in the name of trust, even if his secret's a lot. It's fine to her. It's fine to her. It's fine to her.
I had a weird relationship with my parents.
They split when he was in the 9th grade. He was never proud of Jax, always disappointed. When he left, his mother changed. We lose the first-person perspective and look towards Jax in the third person, his pupils small for the entirety of the scene. If he showed weakness, then he wasn't manly like his father. Jax lashed out, he's just as bad as his father. Jax's mom missed her husband and yet hated him. But since Jax is their only child, her hatred fell toward him. One stupid day. Fed up with the abuse, he told her mother something deep, personal, something he'd hope would get her off his back, something that would make her finally understand him. But she laughed at him, mocked him, and berated him endlessly. He opened up to the one person he trusted the most, and look what it got him! His mother, for whatever reason, whether she was getting her malice out of her system, felt better after hurting her son, or maybe felt like she went too far, hugged him. How can you trust someone to touch you after they tear you down verbally? Her love was one he just didn't trust, and he did what felt right and pushed it away.
She didn't get up.
He ran, never looked back, never came back, and never got to find out what happened to her. Heavy or not, Ribbit actually made a great point, that if the police never came looking for him, then she was probably fine. And if real Jax is still out there, somewhere, living a normal life, then she's most likely alive. Jax thinks he overshared, but Ribbit disagrees. And in an act of comfort, as he begins to tear up, she takes her ribbon off her chest and puts it in his ear. I love this scene because it leaves it all up for interpretation. Jax was a feminine person. Jax was someone who liked to cross-dress. Jax was someone who wanted to transition. Every idea has space to exist and fit into Jax's story. And I think that's really cool. Really smart of Goose to write it this way too.
Yeah? I mean, now's not a good time. Or now's fine. What do you want?
This interruption from Kaufmo, this tiny breach of trust, with the bow on his head, at Jax's most open, was the crack in his heart to blame for the initial creation of Jax's mask. He throws the bow on the ground, telling Ribbit to never speak of this again, or he'll never talk to her again. She agrees.
Awesome, bye.
This, dear viewer, is what we call the I'm uncomfortable laugh. We glitch through clip after clip, the many sound effects sounding exactly like the glitches in Kane's crash out from episode 8.
A American.
Jax cruelly pushes Ribbit away until after who knows how long, she confronts him at the snowy mountain. They fight. It's bad. Jax accuses Ribbit for wanting him to open up so she can use it as ammunition against him, just like his mother would. He uses the exact lines from his fight with Pomni.
Oh my God! Here we go!
We were never friends. They have no relationship. Their time together meant nothing. And Ribbit, as hard as she tried, as little as it all made sense, gave up and said she'd leave him alone. But that wasn't enough for Jax. He lies to Kaufmo, isolates Ribbit using an unknowing Ragatha, does everything he can to push her away beyond her limits. And her limits break. She abstracts. When they try to comfort Jax, he denies them both. Gangle then joins the circus. He names Gangle, and she gets the privilege to experience Jax at his utmost worst. The complete opposite treatment that Jax got when he first joined the circus. We flash through many scenes. Jax's personality change when he shoves Ragatha aside. God, I hate that scene, bro. Which explains why she was so worried about Pomni in episode 6. Kaufmo tells Jax he found a way out of the circus, but Jax denies, berates, and shoos him away, just like his mother would do to him. Pomni now enters the circus.
And I should just play along until we wake up, right?
Whatever you say, kid.
But then we get an odd scene. After seeing the aftermath of episode 1, Kaufmo's abstraction, he berates himself in the mirror while holding a bowling ball, presumably one of Kaufmo's belongings. He beats himself up for crying, for showing emotion, for caring about anyone here in the first place. Spinning through memories, Pomni sees it all.
I move on. And probably forget about you.
And is left in a dark void with her and the real Jax. And that stupid Narnia lamp from the poster. They talk. Jax tries one more time to push her away. The same everyone's out to get me and use my words against me tactic and all.
I'm a terrible person. Is that what you want me to say?
We see his mom on the ground in a silhouetted form with Jax staring at his hand. Mirroring how Jax looked at his hand after shoving Pomni in episode 6. Why would anyone love Jax after everything he did to them? Jax stares at his hand again, his mother on the ground replaced by Pomni, showing how Jax feels he's trapped himself out of his relationship with Pomni, that he's pushed her away past the point of no return. Jax beckons to be left alone, but Pomni refuses, and she hugs him.
I hate you. You know that.
The something real leitmotif begins to play, used throughout the show when adversity is triumphed, deep human emotions are shared, and human connection is made. They talk, and they hug. Jax appreciatively complains that she never gave up on him, and Pomni agrees, completing her 100% speedrun of giving everyone in the circus therapy. But in their embrace, Jax panics, realizing he doesn't want to stay abstracted anymore.
I don't want to go.
He glows and explodes into a big ball of light, but Pomni fights against it, as Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder starts playing? What? I love the double meaning behind the song though. The fact Isn't She Lovely as a line represents both Jax and Pomni here makes it fit perfectly. The montage even focuses on scenes with Jax in them, like, come on man. The music swells as Pomni is nearly consumed by the light, but a cobbled together rope-esque Zubul arm zooms into frame and saves Pomni from abstraction. Turns out they all came to help her, and Kinger and Zubul point out the obvious.
You were gonna try to take care of him all by yourself, were you?
I'm glad we weren't too late. Like you guys keep saying, we're all in this together.
They use the Zubul arm to wrangle abstracted Jax into a giant tent they built for him in the circus. Just like Kinger's pillow fort, a dark place where he can be comfortable. And when it's all said and done, Gangle, staring at the tent, finally cries. But it still feels wrong to her. She doesn't know why she feels for him. So she leaves to her room, with Zubul following at a distance. Zubul comforts Gangle, explaining that it's fine that you feel how you do, but at the end of the day, we're still human. Zubul wipes tears from Gangle's eyes. I adore this scene, man. Zubul wiping away one tear with her claw hand saying we're still human, then wiping away the other tear with her normal hand. Oh, it's so good. But there's a problem. Even with Jax contained, Pomni took heavy injuries from abstracted Jax, stuck in a constant state of being slightly glitched out, leaving the circus members to worry if Pomni will— Is that Kane? What? So for some reason, Kane lived! Whether in a somewhat incomplete or damaged state due to his deletion, or just coming back from the PC's recycling bin, we enter Act 3. The last act. Kane is spying on the circus members similarly to how Abel would spy on them throughout the show, before cutting to Kane in the void.
What?
He contemplates why would they delete him.
Bubble!
With a faceless bubble floating beside him.
Was I truly that bad? Is this really what I deserve?
We now get to see what he did during the weeks and months that went by since his deletion. Traveling through the void, going somewhere he left behind a long time ago. He arrives at the edge of the void. There's a dark exit door in the far-off distance. Beyond his capable reach, it stretches impossibly far away as he approaches it. The door glitches, swapping between a door and a folder. Kane flies towards the file. It's a struggle as he loses his powers, hitting the ground hard, bouncing into a roll, and begins sprinting forward in one smooth motion. I wrote neural scans in my notes. Presumably, that's what was written on the file. Kane comes to a stop, reaching the end of the world. With the door above him across a void he cannot cross nor float over. Kane attempts to conjure and successfully creates a cube, which he uses to build a staircase. But when he places the cube down, it falls into the void. So he tries again, now with different shapes, and it works. He cycles between different colored cubes, orbs, and pyramids as he approaches the door. The scene cuts between Kane creating the stairs to the red dot with limbs creating them, which is a really cool detail, until he reaches an invisible barrier he can't cross, whether his own firewall or just the edge of his accessible domain. He then creates a pyramid and conjures it into a sick freaking drill arm and slams it into the barrier, cracking its surface and shattering it. He continues the staircase, reaching another barrier, shattering that one as well, and now he's at the door, which changed again to Blue Street Cafe _ free Wi-Fi. You can guess where this is going. He opens the door, and we presumably cut to a flashback. Back when Kane originally found this door, the Mind Files room, there's a list of names. He pulls one toward him and interacts with it. It states, Mike Dobby. Then Scratch appears in the circus. We cut to the present. Kane, through the door, has gotten access to the internet, and he learns about our world. He finds the circus members' social media accounts. He learns about them. The scene cuts between page after page, scroll after scroll, as Kane learns more about humans and the outside world. I even saw Daisy Bell flash on screen for a moment in one of the articles Kane was reading. And when he's done, Kane exits the room, guilty for what he did, how he unknowingly treated them, tortured them, how even with everything he can make, he'll never be able to create them. He glitches. The blue AI inside of Kane fights against his thoughts. His eyes flash red and blue as the worst case scenario floods Kane's mind. But what could be worse than what they've already done to him, what he's already done to them? He apologizes to Abel as he sticks his hand in his mind and pulls the blue dot out from within. They're stronger together, but their thoughts, ideals, opinions, they clash and just can't exist together. So Kane lets him go. Abel drifts off into the void. I wrote in my notes that Kane ran a hack? Like, I'm assuming his eyes did the glitchy 101010 green text thing like in episode 7. Not sure what it implies though, but what he needed to do was done, and he heads back to the circus. It's dark. It seems the world has been stuck in the perpetual sea of the night sky. The sun is gone, but the moon... Kane questions if he's ready to face them again, if he deserves to be forgiven, but the moon mirrors Kinger's words. Kane points out he never programmed the moon to say that, and they agree, showing there might be more humanity in Kane, and even his own AIs, than we may have thought. Kane enters the circus, fixing Pomni's glitches with a snap, making the gang aware of his presence. He approaches, and they respond, all on guard. Zubul puts a hand in front of Gangle to protect her, which is adorable. Kane's apology to them is fascinating. His showboaty announcer voice is gone, replaced with a soft, real speaking tone. Like Alex is just talking in his actual voice, like the act is over. He knows they won't trust him, but
I want to give you control of this place.
the way he treated them wasn't right. He doesn't expect forgiveness, but he hopes they'll take his offer, the best freedom Kane can give them. Zubul points out the obvious. They'll need time to even think about forgiveness.
But despite all that, it's good to have you back.
Kane asks if they need help with... well, they decline, which he gets, and he tells them that he made them something, and they should come to the stage whenever they want to see it. They head to the stage, where Kane set up a couch and a projector, and at this point, I knew exactly where this was going. Kane says no more secrets as he turns on the tape and shows them their human identities. Pomni, Abigail Brooks, still an accountant, but she's making new friends and going out more, even making her exploring abandoned building videos with them. Ragatha, Susie J. Ackerman. She left her hometown, cut ties with her mom, thank God, but is successful in her career in real estate with genuine, supportive friends. She feels wanted and is happy with who she is as a person. Gangle, Zoe Ragavan. She sustained some sort of injury, but recovered well in the hospital. She quit her stupid job at Spudsy's and now works at a small art firm, even fulfilling her unrealistic dream and started to upload her webcomic online. Zubul, Riley Vercellis. They opened their own successful bar after job hopping, with many people from all across the city coming to visit, even her close friends feeling comfortable there to be themselves. Kinger, Grant Best. He's still working hard and
And is still happily married to his wife, Destiny.
Queenie, Destiny Best. Ah, they are the best, man. We get a montage of photos of the real-life circus members hanging out with an orchestral version of the main theme playing in the background. Then, we get to see him. He was homeless for a few months until rooming with a close friend of his. Now, he can pay rent. He has a job, and he goes out with his friends occasionally, usually to Riley's bar. We cut back to the couch. The circus members debate if anything they just saw was actually real, but deep down, they believed everything they just saw. Kane says he's not as strong as he once was, but together they can build this circus into something better for everyone. He asks Abigail what she thinks, but Pomni makes a bold realization. Out there, she is Abigail, alive and happy, but in here, she's just Pomni, and maybe that's okay. We get another montage. They begin rebuilding the circus, coming up with ideas with Kane, while Pomni watches a calm, sleeping, abstracted Jax. They drew a mural for the abstracted, God rest their souls. They play board games together with Kane! They play softball together with Kane! And Ragatha's adopted by the Gloink Queen. They created a giant underground water tank for the abstractions. They seem to be semi-aquatic and at peace swimming in the darkness. Zubul recreated their bar, making stylish drinks like the champ they are. And then they recreate the dinner scene from episode 1. Instead of food chosen for them by Chef Bubble, they all get their own self-chosen meals. Instead of a rectangular table where they sit side by side, it's a circular table where they all sit together as a family. Kinger eats his mashed potatoes from the short. Bro, I'm gonna die! This video has been really, really difficult for me to make. This show, hell, this movie has made me feel things that I've not felt from a show in a long, long time. I want to thank everyone who made this show possible. I know online a lot of mixed feelings are being shared. It's true that not every question was answered. Like, why was CNA abandoned? What would happen if the computers in CNA were destroyed? What does Jax look like when he holds his breath? What was the importance of Scratch being the first abstraction? What does abstraction physically look like? Why was Kane not fully deleted? The nitpicky list can go on and on. Maybe Act 3 could have had a grander conflict with Bubble. Maybe we could have gotten an episode all about Kaufmo's story, Ribbit's story, the joining of the original circus members, the Snowy Summit, more fun filler adventures, more of the show we all love. But the fact we care so much to have these questions answered is only because of how deeply the show connected with us. How much we care about it. How good it truly is. Not was, is. Because even with its flaws, out of any show, any movie I've watched, I never walked out of a theater with a bigger grin on my face. This was by far the happiest I've ever been watching a show's conclusion. And I think that's something to celebrate. A celebration for a show as good as Digital Circus. So before we pan out of this digital world one last time and quickly go over the credits, let's talk about the song from earlier, Too Much to Get Over. Every time I've tried writing about what I think about this song, I've gotten weirdly emotional. Something I didn't feel at all when watching the film in theaters, by the way. But for some reason, every time I hear this song now, it just makes me want to curl up into a ball and forget about the world. It made writing this last segment difficult, but there's many different ways that you can interpret this song. You could interpret it as Pomni talking to Jax, Ribbit talking to Jax, Kane thinking of the circus members, even the circus members thinking of their real selves. But out of every interpretation, the one that makes me resonate with this song the most has got to be.
I don't know what the trouble's been, but it's too much to get over you. You're much too much to get over.
Our view of the circus is high above, looking overhead. Pomni walks across the screen before stopping, looking above her, and waving at the sky before walking off screen. You can see this as Pomni waving at Abigail, at the real world up above, or as the show itself, saying goodbye to the viewer one last time. We cut to credits. Oddly, 2 different songs can play depending on what screening you went to. Either you'll get to hear the extended version of Digital Days, which is what you're listening to right now, or the sadly copyrighted Every Day by Bo N. Apparently, from the research I did, only the German and Polish dubs got Every Day as their credit song, but I swear we had it play in our theater, man. I even asked my siblings if they remember that song playing in the credits, and they did. Anyone who's seen the movie, please let me know what played as your credit song. I need to know I'm not the only one here. The circus members go on adventures they created with Kane. Kane even joins in with them on the fun, something he never did in the rest of the show. There was a cooking adventure, a Christmas adventure, a D&D adventure, a concert adventure. Glitch, I am on my knees here. Make a lighthearted spin-off of the gang having fun going on adventures, please!
Oh my god!
As fun as that is to imagine, we focus back in on reality as the credits end and we fade to black. We cut to the real world. Our core circus members all walk toward an empty bus stop, one after the other. Whether they know each other or not is up for interpretation. They wait in silence as a bus rolls in and stops in front of them, blocking our view nearly entirely. They get on the bus. A moment passes, and it drives off. The bus stop now empty. We stay still in this emptiness just a moment longer. Then we fade to black, and the curtains have officially closed. What a show this has been, man. As I record this at 3 in the morning, I'm happy to let you guys know I've still got more TADC content in the works, as I'm sure Glitch does and the community as they continue keeping the spirit of the show alive. Fan content will always be fun to cover, but I'm also excited about the future stuff that I'm gonna cover on this channel. There's many other digital worlds I'd love to explore with ya. But I guess that's a story for another day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you around.